I'd be teaching trigonometry or coordinate geometry, which I loved, or teaching equations, and I was passionate, enthusiastic, and I'd just look out to the sea of dull faces, no light behind the eyes. The advanced kids were bored out of their brain because I wasn't allowing them to extend. Hi, Richard here from Learn, Implement, Share. In this video I'm going to talk about why I transitioned from a procedures first teacher. Now, you may or may not have heard me talk about this procedures first, understanding second approach, or what a procedures first teacher is. And here's the deal. So I started off teaching mathematics in the way that I had been taught, which was in a procedures first approach. So my default approach with all classes was procedures. So I'm teaching the first procedure, giving the example, they write it down, they do 5 or 10, then I'll show them the next procedure, and blah, 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 and away we go. So I'm trying to keep everyone together. It's kind of the standard approach. But I would still do more interesting things. I'd still do some student-centered activities, and I'd still do some collaborative activities. But my default mode of teaching is a procedural approach. And you may have read articles that I've written that I'm advocating that we should move, or it's smart to move to an understanding first, procedures second approach. And what that means is that you teach in a way that has the students get their hands dirty with the concepts first, so they're understanding what they're doing, and then you show them the procedures, or maybe the students come up with the procedures themselves. No, it's not more time consuming. In fact, you can save time this way. But it's really important because we need students understanding what they're doing for the majority of all lessons, rather than having kids with no idea what's going on. So I started off as a procedures first teacher, and pretty much my entire career was moving away from that and trying to work out how I could teach in a way that was much more engaging, much more conceptually based, much more interesting for the students. So the question is, why did I do that? Why? Because I was sick to death of boring the pants off my students. I'd be teaching trigonometry or coordinate geometry, which I loved, or teaching equations, and I was passionate, enthusiastic, and I'd just look out to the sea of dull faces, no light behind the eyes. The advanced kids were bored out of their brain because I wasn't allowing them to extend. For me, forget about the students, for me it was a nightmare because I knew so much more was possible. And it just killed me to know that I was boring these students. Look, if you gave me a top class, I could have fun with those. But anything less than that, there's got to be a better way. And that was my driving force through most of my career, was to find out better ways of teaching maths, because I wanted kids on my side. I wanted them on the same team. I wanted them, to be alive and collaborative and have this buzz of learning in the air. I always knew that was possible, but how do you do it? So that's why I shifted from being a procedures first teacher. And most of you will know of, the last more than a decade, 13 years or so, I've been running courses for teachers. So I've got two maths courses that are specifically about this transition, right? How do we, and I'm not going to try and explain it all in a 5-minute video, but how do we teach students in a way that is efficient, that has them understanding more than they used to, first up, as soon as we get into a topic, that engages them better, that allows them to take responsibility over their learning, that allows them to work kind of more at their own pace, and yet has students finish the unit on time and isn't a waste of time. Like, how do you put all that together? So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, because that's my passion. And as I said, there's a couple of courses that deal with that, and the response that I'm getting back from teachers has been fantastic and continues to be fantastic. So this works. But anyway, I just wanted to tell my story, like what drove me, and it was always frustration. Frustration is a great motivator for teachers if you want to let it be. Hopefully you're not frustrated. Hopefully you're wonderful and you've got no issues at all with your students. But if you are frustrated, then stay tuned. You can be a good teacher. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of that, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.